Now at 5:30 on WKYT this morning, Lexington police are looking for two men who police say robbed a man in front of his home at gunpoint. We're live with details just ahead.
Also on WKYT, we're looking at storm damage left behind from a round of very heavy rain and how it impacted parts of Lexington. Also big impacts around Cincinnati. We'll have your updated forecast for this new week coming up.
And UK head basketball coach John Calipari took his alumni game off the court and onto the ball field. We'll take a look at how some former Cats and other celebs fared at the game. That's ahead on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to WKYT This Morning as we get going here on your Monday. We hope you had a really nice weekend. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Andrea Walker. Yes, we do appreciate people being with us on this Monday. And, you know, the weather's not going to be wonderful for you.
Not
you
today.
might sweat it out today.
But here's the deal. Here in the middle of the week, we switch over to September. Looks
and the
like
temperatures.
It flips right with it, with a calendar flip. We're going to have nicer weather. Let's check in with meteorologist. There he is, Jim Caldwell.
And it's going to be fantastic once we get past the early parts of the week. We're going to be back in the low 80s, maybe even some upper 70s. And more importantly, we're going to have low humidity levels around here. True fall feel as we head into Labor Day weekend. That's what we're talking about there. Upper 60s, mid 60s, and low 70s steady through the area here on this Monday morning. Here's our Defender Radar Network. Yesterday, action-packed with some decent thunderstorms that went up. This morning, not so much. Nice and calm. Now, focus on the forecast. We're still talking about that heat and humidity sticking around the area, but it's not going to hang around for much longer. We are going to beat it toward your Thursday and beyond. I mean, it could always come back again, but at least we're going to get it out of here for a holiday weekend. I'll track that here in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, thank you.
Storms here in Lexington left behind a trail of damage and caused some flash flooding. We got reports of high waters and trees down on Lexington's north side. One of the harder hit areas was Masterson Station. Some drivers say they had to pull over because it was raining so hard they couldn't see the road. And the problems didn't stop there.
It was big hail hitting the car. I almost felt like it was going to break the window.
Lexington police say they blocked off the area because the heavy rain was left standing water. Inside New Circle Road near Whitaker Bank Ballpark, WKYT weather watchers confirm small hail and gusts of wind between 30 and 40 miles per hour. Lexington police say thankfully there weren't any major issues out on the roads. Parts of northern Kentucky and Cincinnati saw some very high waters after a round of rain. The area got about 3 to 5 inches. Some viewers sent us photos of submerged cars. Interstate 71 shut down for about an hour because of the high water. Duke Energy reports nearly 13,000 customers were without power across the area. You can keep up with the latest forecast on WKYT Weather Plus traffic app. You can download the app for free in the app or Google Play stores.
Time this morning is 5:33 on WKYT, and right now Lexington police are searching for two men who were wearing masks when they robbed a man at gunpoint just as he was getting home.
It happened on Laredo Drive, that's off of Reading Road and Lansdowne Drive, just after 11 o'clock last night. WKYT's Victor Puente is live tracking the investigation. Good morning, Victor.
Police say both of those robbers were wearing masks and they appeared to be waiting for that victim to get home. The robbery happened just after 11 last night on Laredo Drive. Lexington police say the victim was getting out of his car when two men walked up to him armed with handguns. They told him to give them his wallet. He did, and then police say they ran to a neighboring park. They say both men were wearing skull masks that covered their faces. Police brought out a K9 to try to track the two men. They weren't able to find them. It's possible they had a car waiting. Police say a second caller told them they heard a car speeding away from that area shortly after that robbery. Now, the victim wasn't hurt, but those men did get cash, his credit cards, and his ID. Live in Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
All right, Victor, thank you.
A community is mourning two beloved nuns found murdered in their home.
Police say a suspect has now confessed. Hannah Daniels has the latest on that investigation.
Mourners stopped by St. Thomas Church Sunday evening to pay their respects to sisters Paula Merrill and Margaret Held.
She will help you. She helped all our people in the community. And she helped me and my child.
The women were nurses who served at a clinic in the poorest county in Mississippi. Friends say they were inseparable.
These were people, and they treated everybody with dignity. They treated everybody with that care. and compassion.
Police discovered their bodies after they didn't show up for work last Thursday. They had been stabbed to death. The murder shocked the tight-knit community of Durant.
We never had nothing like this to happen in our neighborhood before.
Police arrested 46-year-old Rodney Sanders over the weekend. Investigators say he confessed to killing the women. Sanders has been in trouble before, including convictions for armed robbery and felony DUI.
This is one of the poorest counties in all of Mississippi.
It's still unclear why he chose these women of faith who gave a helping hand to so many. Hannah Daniels, CBS News, New York.
And Sanders is charged with 2 counts of capital murder.
We've learned the name of the man killed in a wreck on Interstate 75 in Madison County. Kentucky State Police say David McDowell from Louisville was riding a motorcycle involved in a chain reaction crash near mile marker 87. Troopers say McDowell hit the back of a car after coming up on slowing traffic. Troopers think traffic was slowed down because of a couple other crashes in the area. No other injuries were reported. State Police say one of the drivers told them it was raining hard when the wreck happened. 2 Clay County officials facing multiple charges will head to court today. Police arrested Clay County Judge Executive Joe Asher and Road Foreman Buford Jarvis after a grand jury indicted them for abuse of public trust, bribery, and criminal possession of a forged instrument. Investigators say the 2 men used public money for projects in private homes. Asher and Jarvis will be arraigned today.
Today, U.S. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will be back at home here in Kentucky to talk about a new law to help curb a devastating trend. McConnell will stop in Winchester this afternoon and talk about how the Comprehensive Addiction and Recovery Act would combat drug abuse here in Kentucky and across the country. Last month, President Obama signed CARA into law. This morning, a Boyle County judge could make a big decision to possibly move a high-profile murder case. Kenneth Keith is charged with 3 counts of murder. Police say he killed Michael and Angela Hockensmith and customer Daniel Smith at the Hockensmith store back in 2013. At the last hearing, Keith's attorneys filed a motion to change the venue. The judge also said surveys were sent out to the community asking people about their knowledge of the case. We're expecting to hear more testimony in the case this morning, and the judge is apparently about to decide on the trial's location.
Investigators in Russell County are looking into the death of a Louisville man. The Russell County coroner and the State Department of Fish and Wildlife are conducting the investigation. The coroner says a 64-year-old from Louisville fell into the water at the Lake Cumberland State Dock yesterday and hit a boat propeller. He died at the lake. We do not have the name of that victim. A coal worker found a human leg bone in Indiana. Investigators say a worker operating an elevated crane in a coal yard in Madison, Indiana, discovered the leg on the river bank last week. Police aren't sure how long the leg was in the water or where it came from. They think it is a man's leg. The Jefferson County Coroner's Office will complete DNA testing on the remains to see if they match any missing person.
Louisville police are investigating what they're calling a tragic accident. They say a boy shot and killed his 12-year-old brother at their home in the Penway neighborhood. Police have not released any details about what led up to the shooting. Neighbors were emotional when hearing about the incident.
Nice kid. He was a nice kid. All of her children. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Hi, Miss Sandy. Yeah. And the mother, she worked all the time. She was a good mom.
Louisville's homicide unit is trying to figure out how the boy got the gun. Right now, no charges have been filed. An autopsy is scheduled for sometime today.
With construction tying up on Rupp Arena, UK head basketball coach John Calipari took his annual alumni game to the softball field. The game raised about $300,000 for flood relief in Louisiana.
Coach Cal, along with former Kentucky players, some other pro athletes, and some celebrities got together on the field in front of a couple of thousand fans at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. One of the night's highlights was the home run derby contest, and that was won by reigning NBA Rookie of the Year, Karl Anthony Towns. Cal says he loves having his former players back in town.
Like Carl's just an all-around athlete, huh?
Absolutely. They were playing some baseball. Well, Calipari and his current group of Wildcats teamed up with the Starkey Foundation to provide more than 75 patients from the Kentucky area with complimentary state-of-the-art digital hearing services. The event put a lot of smiles on the faces of all of those involved. So the coach out doing lots of good here.
A lot of good this weekend.
Not playing basketball.
There you go.
Which is going to be coming soon. Time to check live drive traffic this morning and see what's going on early on your Monday. Our time right now is about to hit 5:40.
Here's a look at the traffic map. It looks like a lot of green on the screen down there. Not seeing any major issues right now.
We'll watch that situation on 27 again. There was quite a pinch point there at Man of War and Nicholasville Road on Friday, so we'll see if that's an issue again today. A lot of construction going on there where the summit is being put in.
Of course.
Here's the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government live drive cam at Broadway and High Street.
Looks like things seem to be moving pretty nicely this Monday.
What fewer out there right now. The crowd is about to get up and go, though. And we have a lot more news coming up for you here on your Monday morning.
11 ladies dancing, singing, painting, and tossing bouquets in a Russian town's Battle of the Brides. We'll take a closer look at the competition after Jim's forecast.
Which will include a lot of steam here to start the work week. Showers and thunderstorms as well. But toward the end of it, we shake things up a little bit, get back toward fall-like weather. I'll break it all down coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
So far, so good out there this morning. No major issues in the weather world. No showers, no thunderstorms. It's all quiet for most of us. Now, later today, it's going to be different because we're going to have the heat, the humidity, and more chances of some isolated showers and thunderstorms creeping back into the area. So out there at the moment, enjoy what we have. And over the next several hours, enjoy it, even though it is a little on the humid side. To start you off on a Monday morning. Upper 60s, low 70s, that's all over the place. From here in Lexington at 70 to Mount Sterling, 68. And same thing there in Moorhead, and Somerset comes in at 68. Let's throw in the humidity to the forecast. Let's add it with our temperature, and let's give you the heat index projections for later today. And you can see, again, they get to some pretty uncomfortable levels with those mid and upper 90s, close to 100 degrees. Again, what it would feel like outside when everything is combined together. So later today, we could likely get back into that sticky mess. Here's what the hour-by-hour forecast is projecting with showers and thunderstorms later today. You can see an isolated risk here and there, not a big washout by any means. Now, if you get caught under one of these, it has the potential to be heavy. But as far as just a washout across Kentucky, not going to happen today. Probably doesn't happen at all anywhere in our 7-day forecast, even with better chances of rain coming with a frontal boundary that will be dropping in on us. Again, an isolated chance for a shower or a thunderstorm into your Tuesday, and then as that front gets closer to us going into Wednesday, you can see a little more organization showing up with some of these showers and thunderstorms sweeping through Indiana and also into Ohio, so better complex of rain along the boundary, and that will eventually cross the border. And not only that, but we'll see something else coming behind it. So we have the front dropping through Wednesday going into Thursday. Behind it, a completely different air mass will visit us. Fall-like air arrives across Kentucky by the end of the week and into the weekend. Humidity drops significantly. We're probably going to lose, as far as dew points are concerned, probably 10 or 15 degrees. I mean, that is a big change because today we'll be close to 70, and maybe by the time we get toward the weekend, we could be in the mid-50s with that. That means dry air for everybody around here. And then highs thrown on top of that, dropping anywhere 5-7 degrees below normal, putting them in the low 80s and upper 70s. That is quite the place to be, especially as you head into a holiday weekend. And that's what we're doing here in our 7-day forecast. We're taking the end of that holiday weekend. And we're going to start off kind of rough with chances of a few showers and thunderstorms, but more importantly, that heat and humidity staying pretty tough out there before it starts backing off with the arrival of that front and better chances of some showers and storms into the area. So while we deal with the nastiness early this week, we actually have a nice payoff and a trade-off for the end of the week.
It looks good, you know. Once we get into, we flip the calendar into
That's
September.
right.
What about that?
And it happens the day we do it. That's when we start backing them off. So that's
interesting.
Funny that it happened like that.
I know.
One of the nicest months of the year, you know, as far as the weather.
It
generally.
has the potential, yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Jimmy. And our time this morning is coming up at 5:47 as a small Russian town celebrated the city's anniversary in grand style. The city held a Battle of the Brides.
All right, you got to see this video. 11 women took part in the battle. They each wore wedding gowns to reflect their individual styles. Contestants had to paint and sing and, of course, toss a bouquet. The organizer of the event said it gave the ladies an opportunity to wear their wedding dresses for a second time, get their money's worth. The judges gave points to the competitors based on their originality of their performances. 4 brides walked away with $150 gift cards.
All right, all in
there
all,
you
a
go.
Great celebration for the town and for those brides.
It's so true. You only wear that dress one time, and I know Ladies pay a lot of money for them.
Right. What the one there with the karate gi was all about.
That was interesting.
Yeah, but you know, different style. 5:47 on WKYT this morning.
Coming up, you'll get a look at the stories making news this hour.
We're going to check on traffic again, see how things are moving along. We have some health news, all of our top stories on the way at the top of the hour. And it's so good to have you with us here on WKYT this Monday morning. Good morning. Welcome back in. Time to rise and shine. It's 5:51 here
on your Monday.
That's
right. Let's take a look at some of the stories we're working on for you at this hour.
Busy here at WKYT News. This morning, a Boyle County judge is going to be making a big decision. It's whether to move a high-profile murder case. Kenneth Keith is charged with 3 counts of murder. And at the last hearing, Keith's attorneys filed a motion to change the venue. He said the local folks have heard too much about it. We're expecting to hear more testimony in the case this morning, and the judge could decide on the trial's location.
Also this morning, Lexington police are searching for 2 masked men who they say robbed a man at gunpoint. It happened on Laredo Drive last night off of Reading Road and Lansdowne Drive. Police tell us a man had just gotten home when the 2 men demanded his wallet. That man was not injured. In national news, Donald Trump is preparing a major speech on immigration in Arizona on Wednesday as he continues reaching out to minority voters.
Yesterday, Trump's running mate, Mike Pence, downplayed speculation that the Republican candidate is softening his stance on the issue, as well as the idea of creating a deportation force to deal with those who are here in the U.S. illegally. Recent polls indicate Trump is trailing behind rival Hillary Clinton in several key states.
Los Angeles International Airport was briefly evacuated overnight as authorities investigated a reported shooting. Several people inside the airport took to social media yesterday describing shots fired and police rushing to the scene. Airport police later said the incident proved to be only loud noises and that no shooting occurred.
San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick says that he will continue to sit during the national anthem throughout the NFL season. Kaepernick explained his decision at a news conference yesterday, calling the move a response to what he calls racial injustice in America. The 28-year-old has come under fire ever since he refused to stand during Friday night's preseason game.
A new study suggests more parents are requesting to delay their children's vaccines or refusing to vaccine them altogether. That tops your morning health headlines.
The American Academy of Pediatrics says the number of doctors encountering parents refusing vaccines jumped 12% between 2006 and 2013. Pediatricians report some parents consider vaccines to be unnecessary. Doctors add fewer parents are expressing concern about a connection to autism. Doctors at the University of Arkansas tracked teenage athletes recovering from concussions, and they found adolescents who continued to play after a concussion took twice as long to recover as those who sat on the sidelines.
Speaking of sports, children who specialize in a single sport at a young age may face a higher risk of overuse injuries, stress, and burnout. That's according to a report in the Journal of Pediatrics. Doctors recommend children play multiple sports, waiting until their late high school years to specialize.
Let them try out a few things.
Yeah, jack of all trades, I was master of none.
I understand. There were plenty of big winners at last night's MTV Video Music Awards show.
Chris Martinez has your eye on entertainment.
Okay, ladies, now let's get information.
For the first time ever, MTV hosted its Music Video Awards show in New York's Madison Square Garden, and the top names in music showed up to celebrate the night's big winners, including the winner for Best Music Video.
Beyonce, Formation! I dedicate this award to the people of New Orleans.
Rihanna was presented with the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award, which is MTV's honor for lifetime achievement. The singer-songwriter thanked her fans with a performance. Britney Spears also performed at the MTV VMAs for the first time since 2007. And out in theaters later this week, The Ninth Life of Louis Drax. Aidan Longworth plays 9-year-old Louis, who has survived 8 near-death experiences, including plunging from a steep cliff.
No, we're not supposed to use the word miracle in the medical profession, but this might call for an exception.
Actor Jamie Dornan plays a neurologist who tries some unorthodox techniques to try to tap into the boy's unconscious to determine if Louis fell or was pushed.
Aidan would be, not very good at lying with his eyes closed and staying still because he's like a 10-year-old boy and he just wants to talk about, you know, race cars and all kinds of stuff and computer games. So those moments are a bit of a challenge, but in a very sort of fun way.
The Ninth Life of Louis Drax opens in theaters Friday. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Now let's get a check this hour on today's traffic trouble spots with live drive traffic.
We'll see what's going on right now as we look at the region, and you can see things are beginning to slow down in some areas. We're going to watch this situation. Restricted flow on US 27. That's Nicholasville Road, and that's that left turn lane blocked at Man of War Boulevard. So there is an issue for you bright and early this morning. Again, this is due to the construction going on there. That, of course, is where they're building the summit, and lots of work and utility work and so forth having to be done over there. There's Nicholasville and Man of War with the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government live drive cam this morning.
Everything looks to be moving very nicely on this morning, so that's a good thing to see.
At this point,
no,
but,
still pretty early.
Getting ready to go, and so and the school buses join them as well, of course, this morning. All right, we had flash flooding yesterday, but it's going to be heat today, it sounds like.
A little more of the same, Jim.
Yeah, more of the heat and humidity, which is something that we've had to deal with so many times, of course, this summer. We'll do it again out there today. Highs probably coming in close to 90 degrees. We will have some isolated showers and storms, as you see highlighted there in hour by hour right here in Lexington. We're glad you're along with us here on WKYT this morning.